There is a plan far greater than what you have imagined, a design woven with wisdom beyond human understanding. You have dreams, visions of what life could be, desires that burn deep within your heart. You set your goals, map out your future, and take steps toward what you believe will bring you happiness. And yet there are moments when things do not go as planned. Doors close, opportunities slip away, and the path you thought was meant for you suddenly disappears. In these moments, doubt creeps in. You wonder if you have been forgotten, if your dreams will ever come true. But what if the delay, the redirection, the unanswered prayer was never a denial? What if it was a divine intervention guiding you towards something far greater than you could comprehend? There is a pattern to all things, a divine orchestration that moves beyond the limits of human perception. To the one who looks only at the surface, life appears fragmented, a series of unrelated events, some joyful, some painful, some seemingly without meaning. But there is a deeper reality at work, a grand design that is being woven together with perfect precision. Though the mind may resist, though circumstances may suggest otherwise, everything is unfolding exactly as it must. The unseen hand is ever at work, shaping, guiding, and leading, even when the path is obscured from view. There are moments in life when what is most desired seems to slip away. The opportunity that was within reach vanishes. The door, once open, is suddenly closed. The carefully laid plans unravel. The mind rushes to fill the void with doubt. Perhaps a mistake was made. Perhaps something was done wrong. Perhaps the dream was never meant to be. In these moments, the temptation is to hold on tightly, to resist, to fight against what is happening. But the greater truth is this: what appears to be loss is often the greatest gain. The door that closes is not a rejection, but a redirection. The withheld desire is not a punishment, but a protection. To understand this is to enter into a new way of seeing. Life does not happen at random. There is no such thing as chance. Every event, every delay, every apparent setback is part of a higher plan, leading not to the fulfillment of small, limited dreams, but to something far greater than could have been imagined. To those who trust, the evidence is always revealed in time. Look back upon life and see it clearly. The things that once seemed like failures were in truth the very moments that shaped everything that followed. The relationships that ended made way for deeper connections. The doors that closed led to new paths, better suited for what was truly meant. The plans that did not unfold as expected were merely stepping stones to something greater. The struggle comes only from resistance. The mind clings to its own vision, believing it knows best, believing it can map out the perfect future. But what is this limited mind compared to the infinite wisdom that sees all? When one attempts to force life into a specific shape, struggle and suffering arise. But when one surrenders, when one allows the unseen hand to guide, the way becomes effortless. The path appears not through struggle, but through trust. There is nothing to fear in the unfolding of life. What is meant will always find its way. No opportunity that belongs to you will ever be lost. No blessing intended for you will ever pass you by. If something does not come, if something is taken away, it is only because it was never truly yours, or because something greater is waiting in its place. To trust this is to release all worry, all doubt, all fear. It is to know that the highest plan is always in motion, even when it cannot yet be seen. The great secret is this: the moment you let go, the moment you stop grasping, struggling, and trying to force life into your own design, the true blessings appear. The things that seemed out of reach come effortlessly. The burdens that weighed heavy fall away. That which was once uncertain becomes clear. It has never been about chasing, about struggling, about making things happen. It has always been about aligning with the greater plan already set in motion. So let go of the need to control. Release the fear that things are not working out. The very thing that is meant for you is already on its way. Trust in the unseen and watch as life unfolds with a grace and perfection beyond anything the mind could have imagined. The plan is greater, the path is already set, and what is yours will come, not through force, but through faith. There is no such thing as chance, no accident in the course of events. What appears as disappointment, as failure, as the end of something once longed for, is but the necessary unfolding of a plan far beyond human comprehension. To the one who sees only with the outer eye, life seems cruel at times, unpredictable, filled with loss and missed opportunities. But to the one who understands, there is no loss, no missed opportunity, no true disappointment, only redirection, only the perfect arrangement of events leading towards something greater. The mind may resist this, for it has built its own vision of how things should be, clinging tightly to the images it has created. But what if the very thing one mourns, the very thing one grieves over, was never meant to be? What if the path that was cut off was a path that would have led only to limitation, to something far smaller than what was intended? The doors that close, the relationships that fade, the plans that crumble, these are not punishments, but answers. The unanswered prayer, the longing left unfulfilled, is not a sign of neglect, but of guidance. One may set their heart upon a certain outcome, believing it to be the best, believing it to be the only way happiness can come. Yet the greater plan sees beyond this moment, beyond what the limited mind can comprehend. And so what is not truly meant is removed. What is not in alignment with the highest good is withheld, not as a cruelty, not as a denial, but as a gift disguised as disappointment, but a gift nonetheless. Look back upon life and see the things that once seemed like the end, the moments that felt like unbearable loss. Were they not the very moments that led to something unexpected, something better, something that could not have been planned? The job that was lost, the relationship that ended, the opportunity that never came. Were these not the very things that made way for something greater? If one truly examines the past, the truth is always revealed. Nothing was lost. Nothing that was truly meant was ever taken away. Everything unfolded as it should, even when it seemed otherwise. The greatest mistake is to resist this unfolding. The mind struggles, it fears, it clings to its own desires. It believes that what it wants must come in the way it has imagined. And so, when things do not go according to plan, doubt arises. One questions, one wonders if they have been abandoned, if they have been forgotten. But what if, instead of resistance, there was surrender? What if, instead of fighting against the current, one allowed themselves to be carried? There is a force that moves all things, a wisdom that arranges every event with perfect precision. And when one aligns with it, when one trusts in its guidance, struggle ceases. The path becomes clear. The burdens that seemed unbearable dissolve. There is nothing to fear in the closing of doors. There is nothing to grieve in the loss of what was never truly meant. The dream one holds so tightly may be nothing in comparison to what is waiting. The vision one clings to may be far smaller than the reality that is already in motion. And so the only choice is to trust, to believe that the unseen is working in ways beyond comprehension, to know that what is truly meant can never be lost, and what is lost was never truly meant. The path is already set, the perfect design is already unfolding. And when one releases the need to control, when one steps into trust, they will see clearly that every closed door was not a rejection, but an answer. Every delay was not a punishment, but a preparation. The life that is waiting, the blessings that are coming, are far greater than anything that could have been planned. And when they arrive, when they are revealed, one will look back and understand there was never a need to fear. Everything was always moving towards something greater. There is a great misunderstanding in the world, a belief that life must be controlled, that outcomes must be forced into place, that one must struggle and strive to create the future they desire. This is the cause of so much suffering, for in this way of thinking, one is constantly pushing against the very flow that seeks to bring them exactly where they are meant to be. There is no struggle in the higher plan. There is no need to force, to grasp, to fear that things will not unfold as they should. The path is already laid, and what is truly meant will arrive not through effort, but through surrender. There is a pattern in all things, a divine order that governs even what seems to be chaos. The delays, the unanswered prayers, the unexpected turns, these are not signs of failure, but of alignment. The door that does not open is not meant to be walked through. The plan that falls apart was never the right plan to begin with. But the mind does not see this at first. It believes that loss is failure, that delay is punishment. It does not yet understand that the very things it mourns were removed to make space for something greater. To one who does not understand, surrender feels like giving up. It feels like weakness. But there is no greater strength than the willingness to release, to trust, to step into the unknown without fear. The greatest blessings do not come through force. They come effortlessly when one aligns with the higher order already in motion. There is no need to chase, to worry, to exhaust oneself in endless striving. The very thing that is meant is already on its way. Think back to the moments in life when things seem to fall apart. The relationship that ended, the opportunity that slipped away, the dream that never came to pass. These felt like losses, like painful setbacks. But were they truly losses? Or were they simply the closing of doors that were never meant to remain open? Look at where you are now. Look at the unexpected ways in which life unfolded, leading you to places you never imagined. Can you not see now that what you thought was an ending was really the beginning of something far greater? Can you not see that what seemed like a detour was in fact the perfect path all along? Nothing truly meant for you will ever pass you by. No blessing that belongs to you will ever be lost. When one understands this, fear dissolves. There is no more need to grasp, to struggle, to fear missing out. What is meant will come, and it will come in the most perfect way, at the most perfect time. No sooner, no later, no different than it should be. But there is a condition. One must let go of control. One must stop resisting. One must allow things to unfold, trusting that even when it seems as though nothing is happening, everything is happening exactly as it must. The mind may not understand in the moment, but in time, clarity always comes. What once seemed like failure will be revealed as protection. What once felt like loss will be understood as preparation. What once felt like loss will be understood as preparation. And when the blessing finally arrives, one will see that had they received what they originally wanted, they would have settled for far less than what was truly meant. Life is not random. Every event, every delay, every change in direction is happening for a reason. When one resists, they create suffering. When one trusts, they create peace. There is nothing to fear. The plan is already in motion. The blessings are already making their way. And when one steps into this understanding, they will finally experience the ease and abundance that was waiting all along. There is a fear that rises when things do not go as expected, a fear that whispers that one has been forgotten, that they must fight for what they want, that they must take matters into their own hands. But what is this fear other than the illusion of separation? There is no separation between the individual and the divine order that governs all things. The mind believes it must strive, that it must figure out every step, that it must force its will upon life. Yet nothing could be further from the truth. Life is not meant to be forced. It is meant to be allowed. That which is truly meant cannot be taken away, and that which is not meant cannot be made to stay. Consider the moments in life that seem to break you, the doors that closed, the opportunities that never came, the relationships that faded away. At the time, they felt like loss, like painful detours that made no sense. Yet look again. With the passage of time, can you not see how each of those moments shaped the path you are on? Can you not see that what once felt like rejection was in fact redirection? The things you thought you needed, the things you begged for, the things you thought would complete you, had they come? Would they have truly fulfilled you? Or would they have kept you bound to something far smaller than what was truly intended? No good thing is ever withheld. What belongs to you will come, not by force, but by alignment. When one understands this, they cease to chase, they cease to struggle, they cease to live in fear that life is passing them by. There is no need to grasp for what is already destined to be yours. There is no need to mourn what is taken, for if it is removed, it is only because something greater is on its way. Release the need to control. Release the belief that things must happen on your timeline, in your way. Life is always conspiring for your highest good, even when it appears otherwise. What is meant will find you in perfect timing, and when it does, you will look back and understand there was never a need to fear. The delays were not denials. The unanswered prayers were not neglect. The detours were not mistakes. Everything was leading you here. Everything was unfolding exactly as it must. The path is already set. The plan is already in motion. And when you surrender to it, when you trust in its unfolding, you will find that what once seemed difficult becomes effortless. The burdens that once weighed heavy will fall away. The things you once chased will come to you freely, not by struggle, but by alignment. What is meant for you will never pass you by. It is already yours. And when the moment is right, it will appear not by force, but by the divine order that has always been at work. There is a divine rhythm to life, an unseen order orchestrating all things, aligning events, people, and circumstances with perfect precision. What appears to the outer eye as delay, misfortune, or failure is nothing more than the unfolding of a plan greater than the mind can grasp. The world teaches struggle, the idea that one must fight, must push, must strive to make things happen. But there is another way, a way of trust, of surrender, of knowing that what is truly meant will come, not by force, but by alignment. When one lets go of the illusion of control, they step into a life of ease, a life where things flow effortlessly, where the doors that open are the right doors, and the ones that close are blessings in disguise. To resist this unfolding is to invite suffering. The mind, believing itself separate from the divine, tries to control every outcome, fearing that if it does not act, all will be lost. But nothing truly meant can ever be lost. Nothing that belongs to you can be taken away. The plan is already set, the path already in motion. But can you trust it? Can you release the need to dictate how and when things should come? Can you rest in the knowing that all is being worked out for your highest good, even when it does not appear so? Think back to the moments that seemed to break you, the loss, the disappointment, the unanswered prayer. In those moments it seemed as though life had turned against you, as though the very things you longed for were slipping away. Yet with time, did you not see that what once felt like devastation was in fact preparation? That the things denied were never truly meant, and the things that came in their place were far greater than what you had imagined? The closed doors, the unexpected detours, the seasons of waiting, they were never punishments. They were guidance. They were protection. They were life aligning itself in ways you could not yet understand. But understanding is not required. Faith is. The willingness to trust in what is unseen, to believe that even in the moments of uncertainty, everything is working in your favor. The mind seeks evidence, seeks reassurance, seeks signs that all will be well, but the greatest sign is life itself. It has never failed you. It has never abandoned you. Even when things did not go as planned, even when the road was unclear, you were being led. The same force that brought you through every trial, every setback, every heartbreak is still guiding you now. To walk in this understanding is to release fear. No longer do you chase, no longer do you cling, no longer do you exhaust yourself in endless striving. Instead, you align. You become the one who knows, the one who trusts, the one who understands that what is yours will find you, that what is truly meant cannot be lost. And in this state, life flows effortlessly. The burdens that once seemed unbearable disappear. The things you once struggled for begin to come with ease, not because you have forced them into being, but because you have allowed them. This is the secret. The moment you stop resisting, the moment you surrender to the greater plan, everything changes. No more worry, no more doubt, no more fear that time is running out, that life is passing you by. The life that is meant for you is already unfolding. The blessings that are yours are already making their way. There is no need to rush, no need to fear, no need to hold on to what was never meant to stay. All that is required is trust. Trust that the path ahead is leading you somewhere greater than where you have been. Trust that the things you thought you needed were never the source of your fulfillment. Trust that when the time is right, everything will fall into place, not by struggle, but by the divine order that has always been at work. There is a pattern to all things, an invisible thread weaving through every moment, every event, every seeming coincidence. Nothing happens by chance. Nothing is out of place. Even in what appears to be chaos, there is a perfect design unfolding. Yet, the mind, accustomed to fear and doubt, struggles to see this. It rushes, it worries, it tries to force what is already being arranged in ways beyond its understanding. But the moment one lets go, the moment one stops grasping and begins trusting, the entire landscape of life changes. What was once difficult becomes easy. What was once uncertain becomes clear. There is no need to fight against the current. What is meant for you will never require struggle. It will come naturally, effortlessly, in perfect timing. The delays, the closed doors, the moments of waiting, they are not obstacles, they are alignments. They are not punishments, they are preparation. Can you trust that what seems like a setback is in fact a setup for something greater? Can you believe that the very thing you are waiting for is already on its way, arriving not a moment too soon or too late, but exactly when it should? To live in fear is to resist this truth. To believe that you must control everything, that you must make things happen on your own, is to step out of the flow that is already carrying you to where you need to be. When you release the need to control, when you trust in the higher order of things, you enter a state of ease. Life begins to move through you rather than you pushing against it. What once felt heavy becomes light. The struggles that once consumed your energy fade away, not because life has changed, but because you have aligned yourself with it. Think of all the times you tried to force something to happen, when you chased, when you clung, when you held on too tightly. Did it bring you peace, or did it only bring exhaustion? The things that are truly meant do not require force. They arrive with grace, with ease, in ways that seem almost miraculous. The right people, the right opportunities, the right circumstances, all appear when you are no longer trying to control the process. When you trust, when you surrender, when you allow, what is yours will recognize you, it will find you, it will come not because you have fought for it, but because it has always belonged to you. The job, the relationship, the success, the dream, it is already written. And if something does not come, if something falls away, if something does not unfold as you expected, it is not a loss. It is simply not the path meant for you. There is nothing to fear. There is nothing to mourn. What is truly meant cannot be lost. What is truly yours will always come. Everything is unfolding as it should. Every step, every delay, every unexpected turn is leading you exactly where you need to be. When you understand this, there is no more need to struggle, no more need to worry, no more need to fear that time is running out. The plan is already in motion. The blessings are already on their way. And when they arrive, you will see you were never waiting. You were only being prepared. There has never been a moment when you were forgotten, never a time when you were left without guidance. What seemed like uncertainty was only preparation, and what felt like delay was simply the rearrangement of events to bring you something far greater than you imagined. The need to struggle, to fight, to grasp for what is already destined is an illusion, one that fades the moment you surrender to the divine order already at work in your life. Nothing truly meant for you will ever pass you by. No opportunity, no relationship, no dream that belongs to you can be lost. The doors that close are just as much a part of the plan as the ones that open. The things that seem to fall apart are only making way for what is truly aligned with your highest good. There is no need to fear, no need to worry, no need to question whether you are on the right path. You are exactly where you need to be, and everything is unfolding with perfect timing. Trust in what is unseen. Rest in the knowledge that you do not walk alone. Life is not happening to you, it is happening for you. And when you embrace this truth, when you release control and allow yourself to move with the flow of what is already written, you will find that everything, every delay, every challenge, every unanswered prayer was always leading you to something far greater than you ever imagined.